hands on Rey Mysterio's son! When kayfabe and real life cross over, it can make for some heated moments, with fans wondering what is make-believe and what is real.
WWE can kiss my ass!
One such story was the feud between Matt Hardy and Edge that erupted out of the real-life story that arose when Matt learned his girlfriend Lita was cheating with his friend and colleague Edge. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the true story behind the Matt Hardy, Lita and Edge scandal. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos.
I do thank all of you!
"15 years ago, wrestling fans were shocked when Matt Hardy revealed that his longtime girlfriend Lita had been cheating on him with their mutual friend Edge. Hardy would blast Edge on the internet, leading to the WWE pulling him from television in WrestleMania, eventually releasing him on 11th April 2005. However, things were just getting started as fans demanded the WWE bring Hardy back, taking out their frustrations on Edge and Lita. 3 months later, Matt returned to the WWE, attacking Edge and beginning a high-profile feud with the two, leaving fans wondering what was real and what was storyline.
Go back to the Indies.
However, to understand the full story, we need to look at the beginning of the Matt and Lita romantic relationship and what led to Lita cheating on her longtime boyfriend. Professional wrestling was a mutual passion for Matt Hardy and Lita, aka Amy Dumas, and over time the two became romantically involved. Lita was managing Essa Rios in the WWF, and her popularity quickly eclipsed that of Rios, leading to a storyline falling out.
Hey, wait! Lita just took matters in her own hands!
And Lita teaming up with brothers Matt and Jeff Hardy.
And there's Lita, celebrating with Matt Hardy!
They were Team Extreme together and soon became one of the most popular acts in the WWF, and before long, the WWF furthered this by pairing Lita and Matt romantically on screen, mirroring their real-life relationship.
And Hardy beats the red-hot Garrison Cade! I think maybe Lita bringing Matt some good luck.
The relationship was passionate as both Lita and Matt were focused on their careers. As Lita told Lillian Garcia in a 2017 interview, "I knew Matt. You know, I met him at an independent show. Until I was in the WWE, we became pretty tight, but honestly, it was the bond on the love of chasing our dream. So that was our main bond always. Sure, we had good banter, we got along and never argued. I didn't think about anything except what the next baby step I can do to take forward to progress my career, to increase my chances of doing all the things I wanted to do. That's what I was thinking about and was Matt for a much longer time. So it was a great thing to bond on. It was a great creative. What do you think about this finish? What do you think about this gear?" And I mean, that part of it was 100% fulfilling. The couple were tight as they worked together constantly, but when Lita was injured during an appearance on the show Dark Angel, she had more time to reflect on the relationship with Matt and their future. So I remember having this moment that I was in an argument with Matt. We were slightly disconnected while I was at home recuperating because he was still 100% into his career and I was 100% out of it at that moment because I had to be. And I remember thinking, yeah, we're not going to be together when our careers are over because that is our bond. The way we view life, our interests don't really align. As Lita told Lillian Garcia, she wasn't sure how to process the information and stayed in a relationship with Matt, knowing she loved him, but that she couldn't see growing old with this person. Now, this was around 2002, and it seemed as if the clock was ticking on the end of their relationship. Nonetheless, Matt and Lita remained an item, and Matt asked to be transferred from SmackDown to Raw so he could spend more time with his girlfriend.
No, my God! Oh my God, almighty!
That changed when Matt suffered a devastating knee injury that kept him out of action for nearly a year. During this time, Lita and Edge, who were friends, began growing closer, and they both sensed something was happening. Lita would tell Garcia, "Like, once we started to realize we were more than just two bros just hanging out. So the hard thing that has always been with this time period is we realized we were going down a path that we shouldn't, and what I mean by that is mentally. So we'd kiss finally and freaked out. and around that time I tore my ACL and I was gonna be away, so Matt was off the road. Adam was on the road and I said, hey, you know what, let's take this as an opportunity. We need to just be in our own words and evaluate. Don't do anything for me, I'm not gonna do anything for you. I need to figure out what is right for my world. If we met up on the other side, cool. If not, I support and respect whatever your decisions are. He's like, okay, that sounds like the mature adult thing to do. Edge, who was married to his second wife, left a voicemail on Lita's phone expressing his feelings for her. Lita explained to Garcia what happened next. My knee was hurt. I was coming home, I turned off my phone and I was ready to just kind of check out from wrestling and anything, and Matt was feeling like something's not right. So I was asleep and he went to check my cell phone, and there's the message from Adam, and it was not like, oh, I was just worried about my knee, whatever. And I just looked at him and I said, I'm sorry. And I took my keys and I got in my car, and it was 6 o'clock in the morning or something like that. Lita left Matt, but things were only beginning for her, Edge and Matt. The affair would result in one of the hottest angles of the Ruthless Aggression era, as well as a sensational scandal in the WWE and amongst fans. The WWE Universe was disgusted when they learned of the scandal, booing Lita and forcing her to become a heel.
But I want to let you know.
They capitalized on the fan backlash, having Lita align herself with Edge. Both Edge and Lita had mixed feelings about the angle, as both claimed they were remorseful over what happened.
Oh, this is hideous. Absolutely. Two pathetic human beings. Looks like he's been making a few night deposits.
The fans were relentless, booing Edge and Lita and heaping a variety of names YouTube censors won't let us repeat here. Matt Hardy didn't hold back either, blasting Edge for his betrayal.
Adam Copeland was a guy that was married. He was committing adultery, having an affair with my girlfriend. Those two were in the wrong, and the company, the WWE, was going to endorse that and fire me.
Matt took to the internet to thank the fans for their support after the WWE released him, and he saw their reaction to Edge and Lita.
Right to a big boat.
After just watching Lita and Edge on Raw, it's obvious what the WWE fans feel and believe. Madison Square Garden, which has been the WWE's barometer for years, and what about the fans really think, let them know tonight. Matt Hardy got shafted by a one-time close friend, by a woman I have given everything within me, and by a company I loved with everything I am. The WWE began to mull over the idea of building an angle of the real-life scandal, but would Edge and Lita go along? During an appearance on the Sam Roberts Wrestling podcast, Edge discussed the scenario. While I understood it from a business standpoint, and I always try to look from it from Vince's standpoint, and it's like, I get it. I totally get it. I put myself in this position, so I'm only got myself to blame. So alright, you reap what you sow, so let's go sow it and reap it, I guess. I tried to commit to whatever I had to do on screen, because that was the only way it was gonna work, and it really did feel like it was her and I against the world kind of thing, so we felt that way, so it was easy to portray that on television. Edge was beginning to work his way into the main event after turning heel and pairing with Lita, and to no one's surprise the two got incredible heel heat, but like Edge, Lita was remorseful about what happened and about Matt losing his job. It became such a hot story and they said they want to turn this into the story, but you guys have to be professional. He hasn't. There is money involved in this storyline, but it's your call. You know, we felt terrible he lost his job over it, so we were like, yeah, we made our bed, we'll lie in it. Would Matt agree, and could he work with a friend who betrayed him as well as his former girlfriend? In a 2019 interview with Cheap Heat, Hardy explained everything he went through improved him as a wrestling professional. For me, it's where I first started learning to separate personal life from professional life, and now I am extremely comfortable in being able to differentiate the two. I mean, at first it was a little intense, a little strange, knowing that we were all on the same page. Everyone was okay, everybody had to keep their emotions in check, and as long as we did that, we knew that everything was going to be good. In a way, playing the storyline may have helped all parties deal with the complex emotional issues.
This is the moment he's been waiting for a long time.
Looking back at when she first saw Matt again, it was on the episode of WWE series Bite This. So I just remember sitting there and just like my jaw clenched so tight, because that whole thing, it's just like I wanted to cry, scream, curse and walk out at all times. And finally graduating from that story and getting to have fun with this as the rated R couple and doing all these ridiculous things we did. And to their credit, Matt, Edge and Lita were consummate professionals, transforming a hurtful situation into a big money storyline. The angle became a work shoot as fans knew about what had transpired behind the scenes and wondered how much animosity between Edge and Hardy was being translated into their matches. Would the two go off on each other for real?
Hello, you bastard! I'm gonna make your life miserable!
Matt recalls, as time went on it got a little easier and a little bit better. The most fascinating part about 2005 in my career was that you weren't able to tell the lines between what was real and what wasn't real and where the line lies. It's the most important thing about professional wrestling. Especially this day and age in 2019, you need to blur the lines where you are not sure about what is real and what is scripted. The matches became hotly all-out brawls and included a number of great angles building things up. Matt recalled how he and Edge worked stiff because they wanted to play into the fans' belief that the two men hated each other. Although there were hard feelings, both had settled to the point where they could be professional. We were both aware of that and were both down for it. I almost felt bad for him because he was on the road for a while and his body was battered and he was beaten up and injured while I was out for 8 months and was healthy. So I almost felt bad for him in some capacity because I was in better shape out of the two of us, but yeah, we both knew this had to have a certain look for people to buy into it. Edge and Lita fought in some grueling matches, including a street fight, a steel cage match, and a loser leaves town ladder match that saw Matt lose and head back to SmackDown.
Everything he has put his body and his career through, unfortunately for Matt Hardy, has come to an end.
And despite the scandal, wrestling fans eventually forgave Lita and Edge. Edge's career would skyrocket as he became a multiple-time world champion before what we know now as semi-retirement in 2011.
Because the MRIs showed that I have to retire.
Edge would divorce his second wife and split with Lita, while Lita would date WWE superstar CM Punk for some time before he left her for AJ Lee, eventually marrying her. As for Matt, he married Rebby Hardy, and Edge is currently married to WWE Hall of Famer Beth Phoenix. But there you have it guys, the true story behind the Edge, Lita and Matt Hardy scandal. What do you remember about this story? Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.